What's up guys, it's your boy Brick here and welcome to the first episode of the Ultimate Minecraft Hardcore series in the new 1.19 update. We are going to get a lot of stuff done in this series because I want to try to let this series be the longest Minecraft Hardcore Let's Play ever. And I also want to try and build the most ambitious projects in the Minecraft Hardcore world. My plan for this epic adventure is to build a small starter house at first and then add more structures, farms and buildings to the world in order to fill it all up and prepare for the ultimate hardcore mega base. Of course, I also want to slay all the bosses in the game, including a full stack raid and the Elder Guardian. So for the first episode we will go through the whole starting process, which will already lead us to full diamond gear and a beautiful little starter house with all the space we will need to proceed. Furthermore, I want to build a starter mob grinder, which will help us to get all the enchantments we will need to start our hardcore world. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe, and now let's get right into today's video.
So there we are in a brand new hardcore world. I am very excited for this project, and as always we will get some wood. With this wood we are able to make a lot of progress because we can craft our first crafting table and then we can create the first tools in our adventure, wooden tools. But we won't stick with those for long because I mined some cobble to get the next upgrade already to replace the wooden tools. Then I decided to collect some more cobblestone for future stuff to happen, for example a small furnace or more stone tools. The next thing I needed to do was to find a nice and cozy spot to put my base on, and therefore I took a quick look onto my map where I also found some looting spots right ahead and a very sweet looking place at the north side of that lake you can see there. So I decided to get over there, and on the way I killed some sheep for a bed and some sugarcane for bookshelves. When I arrived at my new spot, I created a very spartanic starter camp with only my crafting table and the furnace I crafted before I went around the lake again to collect some more of that sugarcane. I wanted to have as much sugarcane on stock as I could for the beginning because it was one of my goals for this episode to get a level 30 enchanting table as soon as possible. So after collecting those, I decided that it was time to craft myself the first bed before I would get some wood chopping work done. With my place cleared a little bit, I wanted to get down into the mines to obtain enough iron ore to make myself a full iron armor. I was able to find a lot of useful stuff like coal and lapis, but also my first pieces of iron ore. I already found a lot of resources, but the deep slate slowed my process a lot because I only got those silly old stone tools, and I guess that's also why I got a little bit sidetracked by looking onto my map again, where I found a small village in the west that I definitely wanted to visit. On my way I met some very friendly cows. Yeah, very friendly. So now something more pleasant, I hope. Wow, what a loot. But I guess you shouldn't ask the villagers what.
What did it cost?
Hey, I told you not to ask. So after this small misunderstanding, I planted all the crops I found, and then I went back to the mine where I got even more iron and also this great looking cave with a mine shaft already in it, and I couldn't believe my luck. So I lit up the cave and tried to collect as much resources as I possibly could. While exploring the cave and the abandoned mineshaft, I met my first really evil opponent in this world, because I freaking hate cave spiders because of their annoying poison attack. And in hardcore Minecraft, those attacks can mean the end for your life. So I needed to extinct them restlessly and as fast as I could, because every attack could have been the end for me and also my hardcore world. Yeah, I guess I did it, so I went back to the surface where I put all the iron I got into the furnace, and in the meantime I decided to get the first residence for my base. I built up a small stable before luring my new friends into the camp. At first I went for some cows, which I bred immediately to get a larger cow population. And then my iron ore was melted down and I could start to craft the missing parts of my iron armor. I was very happy to get that off my list. With my new and completed iron armor, it was finally time to also upgrade all of my tools to iron before luring my second wave of friends to the camp. This time I went for sheep because I needed their wool for future projects. But it did not stop with sheep. There were 4 other cows that I had the pleasure of welcoming to my settlement. Of course, I also bred the sheep when I was home again, and then it was time to hunt for some diamonds. I went down to Y level -58 because this should be the perfect height to find diamonds. It didn't took very long to find my first vein of diamonds, and there were perfectly fitting 5 pieces of diamond, which will be perfect to craft a diamond pickaxe and a enchanting table. I was very glad I found diamonds that fast, and so I could craft myself everything I needed to reach my next goals. But sadly I also needed to sacrifice some of my dear new friends in the process, because I really needed their leather for my bookshelves. So I crafted my bookshelves, and I noticed that I was pretty low on wood, so I decided to get some more. This wood was way too much for just 15 bookshelves, and the reason for that is that I was going to build the mob farm above the lake. because then I could jump off all the time without dying, and in the process I witnessed the dumbest squid ever. Wow. For the mob farm I would need to craft some scaffolding in order to get up high enough, and therefore I collected some strings from the mineshaft, and then I went on another journey to find bamboo somewhere, and then I found this village.
Bruh.
Ah, what a peaceful adventure. And as a reward, I managed to find a jungle biome with a bunch of bamboo for me to collect, which is perfect for the farm, but also for future building projects, because these scaffoldings are a huge quality of life improvement. I guess I got like 6 stacks of those, and with a full inventory, I finally sailed back towards home. With the resources I gathered, I was able to craft 3 stacks of scaffolding, which will be more than enough for me. I built them all up and started to create the mob farm. Building this farm was very easy, and I think I got it within 45 minutes, and it was absolutely worth the time. I spent my next hours to try to get some fortune onto my diamond pickaxe, but I absolutely lost it because it took way too long for my taste. I needed to reroll about 20 times before I finally got my fortune 3, unbreaking 3 and efficiency 4 diamond pickaxe. I was very happy, and it was an absolute waste of time. Then I simply wanted to jump off the platform into the lake, but my heart nearly stopped working because I took half a heart of damage, and I thought this was it with the series. I really don't know what happened there. But with my new OP pickaxe, it should be an easy way to find enough diamonds for a complete diamond gear, and it really was. I found so many diamonds and also collected some deep slate for building with later. It was an absolute dream. Finding diamonds never gets old, And after I collected a good half stack, I couldn't wait any longer and I crafted my full diamond armor, which ticks off one more goal of my list. Of course, I also upgraded my tools one more time, and this time it was the Shining Diamond upgrade. I also decided to put my loyal iron armor respectfully to rest before equipping my new diamond armor. I mean, just look at the beauty of those diamond gear. After that, I went back up to the mob farm to enchant all of my new stuff. And I can tell you, this took a lot of time. I guess I was slaying and enchanting for like 3 hours, I guess. But it was worth every single second. Trust me. As I said, this took a lot of time, and I needed to sidetrack myself with some good old wood chopping. I also needed this wood because this was the wood I would need to reach the final goal for today's episode, the starter house. So I chopped down every single tree that I could see to build my house. First I started with a small frame. I didn't want to build it that large, so I decided to go for a small oak log frame with a little terrace at front. I guess I have to admit that I was kind of excited to get to work on my house, and therefore I built the walls with spruce planks and oak wood stairs because I wanted to keep it nice and simple, and because I thought the colors would fit the area I was building in. I got some small decorations done, and then I already put the floor into my house, which I then textured a little bit by replacing some of the slabs with trapdoors. As you can see, this gives the plain floor some kind of more variation, and I think it really turned out nice. For the foundation I went for stone bricks, and then it was time for me to work on the roof. For the edge of the roof I took some spruce wood because I really like the combination of this mid-dark wood type and the deep slate bricks I wanted to use. I think the deep slate blocks really are an improvement for the look of some buildings. I don't know why, but this dirty looking dark grey really fits into simply everything in my eyes, and that's why I love building with them. I guess you will see some kind of deep slate variation in every of my buildings in the near future. It took some time to complete the roof, but in the end I was very satisfied with the way it looks. After this, it was time for me to work on the worst part of building, the interior. I don't know why, but I hate building interiors, and I guess this is the reason why the interior of my house mainly consists of chests. I made a second floor for my bed, and a pillar to stabilize the roof, I guess, and not to forget, the nice fence around. And then there already came the armada of chests that I would need to store all of my stuff. It was a great time. And can you guess what could be more worse than building interiors? Exactly, item sorting. But I quit complaining and started sorting. And I have to admit that it was absolutely worth the time, because now I got everything focused inside my house and I could work from here from now on. One of the last steps for me in this episode was to terraform my island a little bit in order to get some decorations fit in it later on. So I enlarged my spot a little bit and filled all up with dirt, before creating a small pathway around my house to access it more easier. Of course I cannot build a pathway without the right kind of decoration, and I decided to use oak leaves and use some of the tuff to texture the ground a bit in order to give it more like kind of details, you know. And with this pathway, the only thing left was to surround my crop field with a small little cobblestone wall in order to defend it from enemies and give it a nice little natural touch. Last but not least, I wanted to add some custom lantern posts, and therefore I built up with fence posts on top of a brick wall, and then I added a lantern hanging down a trapdoor on top. So now the crops can also grow by nighttime. I think it really turned out pretty cozy, but I would love to read your thoughts about that in the comments down below. Alright guys, so that was the first of many following episodes of Minecraft Hardcore. It was a lot of fun for me, and it took an insane amount of time to get this video done. I really appreciate it if you could leave a like and comment down below. Write down your building ideas and maybe I can build them in one of the future episodes. Stay tuned for more, because I already recorded the second episode and I think it will blow your mind. If you don't want to miss out on that one, subscribe to the channel for free and we'll see us in the next adventure.